But meanwhile, let's jump the generation gap and greet Marc Bolan. They're obviously lifting up. I've been reading recently, Mark, in a newspaper, an article which suggests that you are the successor to the Beatles. That you, in fact, claim that you're a successor to the Beatles.
I never said that.
You didn't say that?
No way. You continue, and I'll fill in. Go on, please.
Do you have in your mind any intention?
They said that.
They said that, okay. Now, how does it strike you then? That clearly you have views and ideas about that.
Well, people, let me say, just people with, when anyone does anything, they seem to give you a reason. Right, you know, you're doing this show, and at some point they're going to say that you're like, I don't know, Parkinson or Andrews. You know, it's like they do something on you, and it's, we sold a lot of records, which I'm very grateful for, and it's very sweet and everything. It's really nice, and we do what we do, but we're not, I mean, the Beatles were one thing, like the Rolling Stones were another, we are something else, really.
Well, all right, so we all know what the Beatles were, and we all some of us know what the Rolling Stones...
Yeah, they turn it into, they want to pigeonhole you into something that is not necessarily what you do. I'm sort of a cross between a lot of people, media-wise, being that the first person that really turned me on to things. I'm moving a lot, I'm sorry.
No, move to your heart's extent.
Can I
move around, whiz around. As long as you don't knock the mics, you can whiz anywhere. Yeah.
Like really with when I decided what I was going to do was Bob Dylan, because I realised that I started as a poet. I used to write when I was about 9. And I realised that if I use what really moved me as a human being, which is rock and roll, not pop music, because that is too wide, the gap, rock and roll, and I put the words that I felt very deeply inside me, that it would be all right, and he was successful at that, and I figured I might be.
Getting back to this dreaded article, which clearly is going down like a lead balloon with you, I want to quote you a bit, which says, for the first time in pop history, we have a superstar projecting not sex, but romance. Sex is a part of it.
That was Lord Byron, wasn't it? Wasn't me?
Could well have been Lord Byron, yes. Sex is a part of it, it says, but it's sex by courtesy of the Magic Prince, and I presume that means you, who is going to deflower the young virgin in an atmosphere of blissful romance.
I like that.
Well, what does that mean?
I don't know. I think what they're trying to imply is that, I don't know, the appeal of what I'm supposed to be to that thing is like a teenage crush thing.
It makes you out there as a kind of wistful, magical, distant...
You know better then, right?
How do you safeguard yourself against the kind of adulation that you receive? How do you remain critical, self-critical? How do you keep a hold on yourself when everybody's screaming and shouting and banging out to you?
Depends what sort of person you are, very seriously.
Well, that's what you to tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I always remember Terry Dean was the guy. I mean, they tried to put him in the army or something, and he freaked out, and he'd had some sort of success. It doesn't register to me like that, very seriously. I mean, I'm not any different from when I was about 9 years old. I don't feel any different. I mean, the people here, I don't know if they've heard of us or not. One works in the realm that we work in. I find it exciting, and I like to do what I do. I can't walk down the street anymore, right? So I employ people around me to make sure that no one really doesn't. I had to move because I couldn't stay at home for hundreds of kids outside.
Well, they were breaking the place up,
well, they didn't mean they just write all over the wall. It's a hang-up for the neighbours. I enjoyed it, but it was like the neighbours got worried about it.
You still haven't told me how you keep hold of your own self-critical faculty. You must
what I'm trying to say is that, as I say, I started as a writer, and I don't feel any different. And what is it you're asking me? I mean, if I talk to anyone, for instance, if you talk to, I don't know, Catherine Hepburn, who's a very groovy lady anyway, but if you talk to her, she never gives interviews, so I'm told, and she is a very level-headed woman. I mean, you're a craftsman. I consider myself a craftsman at what I do, be it writing songs, and just I do it and give it to people, and I'd like a feedback. If I don't get it, then it's very sad. And if I'm a dustman tomorrow, tough. Can
you finally tell me what your own attitude to say to money is? I mean, you're earning a lot of money, and it's rolling in every day, and presumably, as you've told me already, and as we've already read, you've had some kind of training in poverty. Is your mum watching you?
Of course. She's watching you, Martin.
What kind of attitude do you now have to it? Are you enjoying it? Do you sort some away?
Money brings problems in as far as the thing with pop stars that people don't understand is that pop stars as such is that they, you work and you do things, but you also employ 15 people to work around you, and the Stones have got 35, and they've never made a tour that made any money. I mean, you don't make an incredible amount of money. You do it because you live your environment. I'm doing this show tonight because I saw you on Sunday when you were having dinner, and it was nice to see you. That's what it's for. Money is, I don't know, I don't think about money. Someone told me the other day that I had a lot of money, and I never buy anything but records and books.
You don't consider,
cars,
do you consider yourself to be privileged? Because what you're saying now, what you're uttering now, are the remarks of a privileged person, actually. If you don't consider...
No, you've got to tell me what a privileged person is.
Well, anybody who can sit back at whatever age you are, which is not all that old, in the kind of society we largely live in, and say, money doesn't concern me, I buy a car because I need a car, but I don't drive a car, but I have a white rails in the garage, or had. People buy things for me, people look after things for me. Do you not consider that to be a privileged kind of situation?
No one looks after things. You're making it sound very
No, people look
different,
after your business deals.
Well, you must tell me, what do you think a rock and roll star is and should be? That's what the point is, I think. I mean, what is... And what is privilege?
No, I'm not asking you. All I'm asking you to...
for me,
Yeah, but all I'm asking you to say to me is, do you consider yourself privileged?
Privileged at what?
Well, in a situation in which a lot of other people would envy you. You're in a situation which make other people envious.
Well, we have to find out exactly what people think you are to envy. I mean, I've been involved slightly in making films a little bit. And I wouldn't envy... did you have Tony Curtis last week? Did someone say...
Sometime about it.
Right, right. And, I mean, making films, you've got to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning and in bed at 6 at night. Now, if you tell... I mean,
And churning out...
Can we go to the audience?
Yes, by all means. Yes,
can anyone... What do you think a pop star is? Can anyone say? Just as on a flash. Come on, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they'll cut it out.
Hard worker. Hard working. I was going to say the same.
But that's nice. That makes really.
I think it is a job. I mean, people think that you just go into the studio and a couple of hours it's all over. It's not like that at all, is it? I mean,
not at all.
It's damn hard work. It really is.
But isn't everything though?
Yes. Oh
right.
yes. Don't get
but that's people have this illusion about you get someone and they always print the things in the papers about all these millions of pounds that people make. I mean, they would probably say about him and about lots of people, and it's all...
Yeah, but the illusion is what sustains you in a certain position. The illusion is what, in fact, makes people buy your records and listen to you and scream at you and shout at you. It's a carefully constructed illusion. It's not something that you would throw away lightly.
No, it's not carefully constructed. It's artistic. I mean, I don't know. The last year for me has been very weird because I did what those people did, and I now do what I do now. I'd never believed in security, and I still don't. I feel I do what I do to people that want to listen. If they don't want to listen, crap them. I don't care, right? I do it because I believe in it, and I'm giving everything I can. And you get to a point, it's very proud. And you do it, and if people boo at you, I mean, I'm really rascal. I mean, it's like you do it, and that's what I do it for. What I get back is incidental. Someone says, like, that new LP thing, right? We did 100,000 in a day.
I mean, you sold 100,000 a day.
Which is a lot of records, but I don't think of that. I can still see each person going in the shop. That's because for years I used to, like, steal records and nick things out of my mum's gas box and stuff to buy records, right? So I can still relate to that. Yes, Russell.
Do you ever waking up in the middle of the night? It's a question that you must have been asked 85 times before. Do you ever waking up in the middle of the night and think, in another 20 or 30 years I'm going to be 50 or 60? What shall I be doing then? You don't?
Never think about it. I mean...
doesn't haunt you?
What did someone say something with a very deep voice like Lord Tennyson?
It doesn't haunt you, that in the middle?
I don't think I live that long.
You don't?
No.
Well, I hope you live long enough to come back some other time and carry on with part 2, whenever that may be. Marc Bolan, thank you very much.